In the MVP, we always wanted to be the single source for customers to get their transcriptioning done. But we always want to focus on the media side, media or audio or video side of things. Right now, for Maestra, anyone can come and upload their files and get their transcription, subtitling, voiceover, translations, or all these things together and export their files. For example, one of the other things that we were discussing was having a text translation feature. We were considering expanding as much as we could to get as much traction as possible. Maybe we will do that at some point, but we wanted to focus on the media side of things. My name is Berkay Atatop, and I'm the CTO of Maestra.
This is Code Story, a podcast bringing you interviews with tech visionaries.
Like 6 months moonlighting.
There's nothing on the backhand.
Who share what it takes to change an industry.
I don't exactly know what to do
took
next.
many goes to get right.
Who build the teams that have their
Our
back.
company is its people.
The teams help each other achieve. I was proud of our team.
Keeping scalability top of mind.
All that infrastructure was
Yes, we've been fighting it as we grow.
Total waste of time.
The stories you don't read in the headlines.
It's not an easy thing to achieve, mind
Took it
you.
off the shelf and dusted it off and tried it again.
To ride the ups and downs of the startup life.
You need to really
It's
want it.
not just about technology.
All this and more on Code Story. I'm your host, Noah Labhart, and today how Berkay Atatop is using AI to transcribe your audio into subtitles, transcripts, and voiceovers in minutes. This episode is sponsored by Kiteworks. Legacy-managed file transfer tools lack proper security, putting sensitive data at risk. With Kiteworks MFT, companies can send automated or ad hoc files in a fully integrated, highly secure manner. The solution is FedRAMP Moderate authorized by the Department of Defense and has been so since 2017. Step into the future of secure managed file transfer with Kiteworks. Visit kiteworks.com to get started. This episode is sponsored by ClearQuery. ClearQuery is the Analytics for Humans platform. With their full suite of features, you can go from data ingestion to automated insights seamlessly. With Ask ClearQuery, you can find valuable insights into your data using plain English. Don't miss the opportunity to simplify your data analytics with ClearQuery. Get started today at clearquery.io/codestory. Berkay Atatop is originally from Turkey, but now lives in Germany. He loves to travel, and living in Germany allows him to be close to family, but enables him to live a nomadic life. He split his college time in Turkey and America, and while he was stateside, he discovered hackathons, which is the origin spot for his current venture. Outside of tech, he played water polo for 10 years and enjoys playing the guitar. He finds inspiration in bands like Pearl Jam, who's coming to Europe soon, which Berkay is excited about. After getting into hackathons, Berkay and his co-founder built a prototype of their current company solution, an automatic transcription solution for voiceovers. Once they graduated, they decided to start a company and move into subtitles and beyond. This is the creation story of Maestra.
Maestra was a hackathon project in college. I started building it with one of my classmates. Before we graduated, I met with another from my class, and he also wanted to start a startup. So he said that you guys can do the coding side, I can do the business side, so we can just start a startup. We created the company right after graduating, and we moved to New York for 3 years in the same apartment, and we just built the product. And after 3 years, we decided to move to somewhere else. So I went to Turkey for a year, and then I came to Germany afterwards. The product started as a automatic transcription application. In the hackathon, it was always a voiceover product, but it was always going to be a voiceover product. But when we graduated and decided to make it an actual product, we saw that the transcription and subtitling services were more mature. And because of that, we wanted to start with those solutions and then do voiceover. So we did the transcription editor, and then the subtitle editor, and then the voiceover editor around 2019, I think, beginning of 2019 maybe. After we graduated, we didn't start with this idea. We actually had another idea about a anonymous college messaging, something like that. And then we built that as a starter project because we also wanted to learn that we wanted to be able to work with each other in the team. And after that, we decided to give up on that idea and focus on the Maestro idea 100%.
So tell me about what you would consider the MVP. Maybe it's that hackathon version, or maybe it's post that. You decide where you want to start, but tell me about the MVP. What sort of tools were you using to bring it to life, and how long it took you to build?
So the MVP version, I considered the transcription application because that's when we released the application and actually started getting customers. The hackathon project was a 36-hour hackathon, and we did it. And most of the things were broken. And then we actually focused on our college studies until we graduated and then came back to the idea and rebuilt it from scratch. And while building, this is a web application, we use React on the front end. On the back end, we use Express and Node.js. And for cloud services, we use whatever service gives us the best results. For example, we use AWS, Google, Microsoft for different occasions, and we have microservices that are connected to a single server.
So let's stay on that MVP for a minute. With any MVP, you've got to make certain decisions and trade-offs around, what you're going to choose first. And you mentioned one earlier. Maybe dive into that one or pick one that you really had to work through and how you coped with the decisions that you made.
In the MVP, we always wanted to be the single source for customers to get their transcriptioning done. But we always focused on the media so far. Maybe we will expand in the future, but we always want to focus on the media side, media or audio or video side of things. Right now, for Maestro, anyone can come and upload their files and get their transcription, subtitling, voiceover, translations, or all these things together and export their files. For example, one of the other things that we were discussing was having a text translation feature. We were considering expanding as much as we could to get as much traction as possible. Maybe we will do that at some point, but we then wanted to focus on the media side of things. But also, most of our competitors are only focusing on certain aspects of what we do. For example, some of them focuses on the voiceover aspect. There are like voiceover applications. There are subtitle applications, transcription applications separate, but we wanted to have a single application where you can do all of those things without switching platforms.
This episode is sponsored by Kiteworks. Legacy managed file transfer tools are dated and lack the security that today's remote workforce demands. Companies that continue relying on outdated technology put their sensitive data at risk. And that's where Kiteworks comes in. Kiteworks MFT is absolutely the most secure MFT on the market today. It has been FedRAMP moderate authorized by the Department of Defense since 2017. Through FedRAMP, Kiteworks' level of security compliance provides a fast route to CMMC compliance, saving customers time, effort, and money. Kiteworks MFT makes it easy for users to send automated or ad hoc files via fully integrated shared folders and email. Administrators can manage policies in a unified console and create custom integrations using their API. Did we mention it's secure? The level of security with Kiteworks solution is rare to find. Step into the future of secure managed file transfer with Kiteworks. Visit kiteworks.com to get started. That's KITEWORKS.com. This episode is sponsored by CashFly. The web is a competitive place, and if your site delivers its content pixelated, slow, or not at all, well, then you lose. But that's where CashFly comes in. CashFly delivers rich media content up to 159% faster than other major CDNs. Through ultra-low latency streaming, lightning-fast gaming, and optimized mobile content, the company offers a variety of benefits. For over 20 years, CashFly has held a track record for high-performing, ultra-reliable content delivery. While competitors call themselves fast or use cute animal names, only CashFly holds the record of being the fastest and serves customers like Adobe, the NFL, or Roblox, where content is created by users and must be delivered in real time. For the first time ever, Code Story listeners can get a 5 terabyte CDN for free. Yep, you heard that right, free. Learn more at cashfly.com/codestory. That's CACHEFLY.com/code-story. So then you've got the MVP, it's working, you're getting some traction. How have you progressed the product from there and matured it? I think to wrap in a box a little bit, what I'm looking for is how you built your roadmap, how you went about deciding, okay, this is the next most important thing to build or to address with Maestro.
First of all, when we first graduated, we were very inexperienced, and we were like 3 at first college graduates, and then 4 we included another friends of ours, and we were initially like 4 co-founders that were all fresh college graduates and didn't really know anything. At first, we were honestly following our gut, or mainly the user feedback was guiding us a lot, maybe more than it's supposed to, but since we were not used to the idea of people using our product, we were trying to listen anything that the customers say, which was helpful to verify that we are doing the right thing, at least for some people. So we follow the trends as well. For example, recently the voice cloning feature is very mainstream on the media. We wanted to get this feature out as soon as we could, so we released it a week or 2 ago. The thing that our roadmap, we decided at the beginning of the year, or we have yearly meetings with the board, we decide what we want to do as an overview. But as the year continues, if a breakthrough happens that we can integrate to the app, we also focus on that as well. Because when something like that happens, the market for our application, the demographic might shift. For example, we were mostly focusing on the subtitle application. We are still doing that, but because most of our customers were coming from the subtitling application. But for example, after those voiceover improvements that happened this year, a lot more people started searching for voiceover as well. So we wanted to focus on giving the thing that people are searching for at that moment. Usually we have a timeline, we have things that we want to do, but depending on the priority, we can squeeze some other things in.
So I hear you saying we. Tell me about how you built your team. What do you look for in those people to indicate that they're the winning horses to join you?
In the hackathon, currently the CEO of the company is the person who helped me to build the application in the hackathon. We built the application together. While creating the company, I knew that he was one of the trustworthy people that I could work with, because I already did it in a very intense condition in a hackathon. And also, he's still one of my best friends from college as well. So we knew that we could get along because it's a very intimate environment as well. We lived for 3 years together in Manhattan, and during that time we were actually in pandemic as well. We lived through the pandemic as well without being able to go back to our country, visit our family, or just to go out. Our whole life became work, and it was a very intense period of our lives. Being able to get along in that condition, if I didn't trust them, if I didn't know them, I wouldn't be able to do that. Also, knowing that they are hardworking as well, because when we started, we were like 3 developers and 1 business side, and the application wasn't there, so we were trying as much as we could to at least get the application out and start making some progress on the marketing side. When you are working so hard that everyone else on the same team is working as much as you as well, so I think knowing that they are hardworking as well is definitely a plus. But on the hiring side, we started hiring people very recently, like a year or 2 ago. So we are still very inexperienced on that aspect too. But since we are a small team, we want to be able to count on people about certain things in the application and don't want to think about it. If they are a developer, they need to be all around, understand many things on the coding side. They can get the jobs, most of the job done.
This episode is sponsored by Cashfly. The web is a competitive place, and if your site delivers its content pixelated, slow, or not at all, well, then you lose. But that's where Cashfly comes in. Cashfly delivers rich media content up to 159% faster than other major CDNs. Through ultra-low latency streaming, lightning-fast gaming, and optimized mobile content, the company offers a variety of benefits. For over 20 years, Cashfly has held a track record for high-performing, ultra-reliable content delivery. While competitors call themselves fast or use cute animal names, Only CacheFly holds the record of being the fastest and serves customers like Adobe, the NFL, or Roblox, where content is created by users and must be delivered in real time. For the first time ever, Code Story listeners can get a 5 terabyte CDN for free. Yep, you heard that right, free. Learn more at cachefly.com/codestory. That's CACHEFLY.com/codestory. Hello, welcome to the Data Analytics Club. Do you know the password? No, didn't know there was one. Do you know how to code? No. Do you know how to query data? Like, ask a question? I guess not. I see. Then you can't be in this club. Sorry. Goodbye. Don't be left out of the Analytics Club. ClearQuery is the Analytics for Humans platform. With their full suite of features, you can go from data ingestion to automated insights seamlessly. ClearQuery provides you with the information you need without requiring you to do the heavy lifting. Their Ask ClearQuery feature allows you to ask questions in plain English, helping you find relationships and connections in your data that may have previously gone unnoticed. You can even visualize your data with presentation mode, taking your data storytelling to the next level. Pricing is based on storage, not licenses, and that ensures that you get the most bang for your buck. Don't miss the opportunity to simplify data analytics, your data analytics, with ClearQuery. Get started today at clearquery.io/codestory.
Let's flip to scalability then. And I'm curious to where, this came into play for you. Was this built to scale from day one, or scale in mind with abstractions and things? Or have there been any interesting areas where you've had to fight it as you've grown?
We were focusing on the scalability day one. We started using solutions like Amazon and Google Cloud. We started with Google Cloud, and we always used the stack that we knew that wasn't gonna be hard work to scale for the most part. But after that, of course, a lot of problems occurred while scaling. But for example, we use Firebase on the database side because we know that it's very easy to set up. You don't need to worry about too much time about the security, and there's a framework that you need to follow. And if you follow the framework, you are mostly good to go. Didn't want to take our chances on the security side because we also know that we are like recent graduates. There might be things that we are going to be learning along the way, but we also want to release and sell the application. Scalability and security was a priority on the day one. And in terms of the scalability side, we deal with a lot of media, video and audio files. Making that aspect of the application scalable is way harder than saving just the data. We didn't really consider that. Getting those set up was a hard thing to do. Maybe one of the hard things that we did. Sometimes there are things that are out of your control as well. Sometimes you are depending on a package, and then, for example, Google just bumps up something's version on the backend, and then everything breaks on your application without you even knowing it. There were sometimes like that. We don't change anything, and then the application breaks. So we are trying to understand what's going on.
So as you step out on the balcony and you look across all that you've built with Maestro, what are you most proud of?
Personally, I'm proud of that we actually released something and one person used it. That because I remember our first customer coming in using the application, that's probably the happiest that I felt, because you put so much time in it and then you release it and then someone actually puts their card and pays for the application. That was mind-boggling to me at the time, because that was our first application. Before that, I never released an application and someone never really paid for something that I did virtually. So that was very interesting. For me, that's probably the thing that I'm most proud of so far.
Let's flip the script a little bit. Tell me about a mistake you made and how you and your team responded to it.
There were times where we unintentionally break the applications. When that happens, knowing that everyone is composed, and when something breaks in the application, our support inbox just gets filled. So that too many things happen at once. Knowing to work under pressure, I think, was one of the things that I learned for being in the company, because in a larger team, you are more relaxed. But when you have to do the things that you need to do and no one else actually knows what you're doing, like all the pressure is on you.
This will be fun. Let's dig into the future. What does the future look like for the product and for your team?
Right now, we are working on releasing our mobile application. We already made it mobile responsive, but releasing it to the app stores. We are working on real-time transcription and real-time voiceover as well. Those things are completely separate markets that we wanted to tackle for a long time. In terms of the product development, these are the things that I'm most excited about because we have been working on those things for so long and we want to release it as soon as possible. About the team, our priorities changed over the years since we started the company. On the first few years, we focused on the product and didn't really focus on anything else into like marketing or SEO, those kind of stuff. And that was our biggest mistake. And we learned from it. We started focusing on SEO a lot more than that we used to. And we actually saw a lot of benefits from it. And then we now want to focus on the marketing side of the application a lot more than before. We, of course, are growing our development team as well. As a technical background person, I didn't really realize how important marketing was when I first graduated. But right now, we are definitely going to focus on marketing more than the actual development of the application because we already have an application that is working. And when people don't know about it, they just settle with their first choices.
Let's switch to you. Who influences the way that you work? Name a person or many persons or something you look up to and why.
I definitely look up to my family, my mother and my father, and my brother. I think they are the biggest influences in my life. As I actually grow up, I started seeing the similarities more as well. I didn't really think that I have an influence, but I think probably it's my family because I look up to all of them and I'm the youngest in the family. So everyone was like an idol when I was growing up. My brother is 5 years older than me, so even him is old enough for me to give me advice when I was growing up. So yeah, it's definitely my family.
Okay, Berkay, last question. So you're getting on a plane and you're sitting next to a young entrepreneur who's built the next big thing. They're jazzed about it. They can't wait to show it off to the world and can't wait to show it off to you right there on the plane. What advice do you give that person, having gone down this road a bit?
I think probably it's a cliche answer, but everyone thinks that it's easier than it is, and you don't really know how much it's gonna take from your life until you start it. Because when I started it, for example, I didn't know that I was gonna be there for 5 years. It's definitely nice, but when you are getting in, you should know that you might have to stay there for the long run, and you should always do it only if you want it, because it's gonna take so much time from your life. You won't have working hours for the most part, at least like when you're beginning. They should know that it can take a lot from them. Okay, the experience is nice, the feeling is nice when people are using your product, but also all the other time you are supposed to work on this product, and it should be something that you like working on.
That's fantastic advice. I couldn't agree more. Well, Berkay, thank you for being on the show today, and thank you for telling the creation story of Maestra.
Thank you for having me.
And this concludes another chapter of Code Story.
Code Story is hosted and produced by Noah Labhart. Be sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or the podcasting app of your choice. And when you get a chance, leave us a review. Both things help us out tremendously. And thanks again for listening.
"89% of business leaders say AI is a top priority. But with AI tools popping up everywhere, how do you separate the helpful from the hype? The right choice is crucial, which is why teams at 1/3 of Fortune 500 companies use Grammarly. With over 15 years of experience building responsible, secure AI, Grammarly isn't just another AI communication assistant. It's how companies like yours increase productivity while keeping data protected and private. Designed to fit the needs of business, Grammarly is backed by a user-first privacy policy and industry-leading security credentials. This means you won't have to worry about the safety of your company information. Grammarly also emphasizes responsible AI, so your company can avoid harmful bias. See why 70,000 teams and 30 million people trust Grammarly at grammarly.com/enterprise. That's grammarly.com/enterprise. Grammarly, enterprise-ready AI.